Ep3's Northgate Gameday. I'm Callum Ewing, joined here today as always by Aiden Cox, former Northgate quarterback Duke Sutherland, and Sam Kreutzer will be joining us later this episode. Before we jump right in, a thank you to Sports Nation TV, powered by the Premier Media Group, for being able to send graphics and put us on Roku TV. You can watch us there, sportsnation.tv, sports is with a Z. And now, let's go ahead and hop right in. Let's review the historic win that brought Northgate to their first 4-0 start since 2016. And for the first time in 6 tries, they were able to defeat Noonan High School, this time on the road, 35-21. Nearly all of us were there. So Aiden, would you like to start first with first impressions?
Well, I'd like to say thank you, Callum, and just thank you again to the sponsors tonight for being able to provide graphics and put us on Roku TV. Jumping right in, my first impressions, obviously the entire defense looked great, the D-line, the secondary. Coming into the game, Noonan quarterback Brody Campbell had 11 touchdowns and no interceptions, averaged 927 yards a game, and the Noonan team themselves averaged 55.9 points per game. Your Vikings, for nearly 3.5 quarters, held Noonan to 14 points before Kevin Whitley's failed 4th and 1 conversion. Great show from the defense. Speaking of that secondary, Brody Campbell was picked off 3 times, and on the last drive of the game, he fumbled it, giving leeway to the Northgate touchdown and the win. I mean, this defense looks pretty great, I'd say. Led by Bryson Davies. I mean, this kid's just incredible. Kid's a dog. Bryce Jarvis made a big impact last game. I said my X factor last game was Ledger Clements, and honestly, he played pretty well. He held it to 15, 20-yard passes, but when he did, it was effective, including a beautiful touchdown pass to, I believe, Travion Gill. Don't quote me on that, but Ledger played pretty good too. He was very smart with the ball. Callum, what were your takeaways from the game?
So I'll touch on a couple things. With Ledger specifically, for those who don't know, he is the Northgate quarterback. The main thing with him was not forcing the ball. A lot of what we've seen with his interceptions this year has been because he tries to force the ball downfield into double coverage or tough situations for the wide receivers. He put the ball where it needed to go every single time during that game. And when he didn't, you had Woody Scatini, Georgia Offensive Player of the Week, Week 1, and probably should have got last week. I believe he had 25 carries, 192 yards, 2 touchdowns. 27 carries, sorry for the correction there. An absolutely dominant performance. He had 2 close touchdowns, one in the first half, one in the second. One of the runs to set up a touchdown in the first half was about a 90-yard run. Northgate were pinned in their own 10 after forcing a punt from Noonan late in the first half, and he just electrified the entire away end. The defense, like you touched on, was really good. Bryson Davies has already been one of the team's leading tacklers this year. He was the one to get the scoop and score. When it was 28-21 at the 4th quarter, 2 minutes left, it was 4th and 10 for Noonan on their own 20-yard line. And that is when Brody Campbell threw a pass out, and it was fumbled right before the first down yardage. Bryson Davies was able to get it, scoop it up, take it back. That made it 35-21. He also was able to get an interception in that game. The 2 other interceptions were by Kieran Williams, who I must say, that must be his best game of the year so far for sure, coming out as a standout in the secondary. Brody Campbell coming in had 11 touchdowns and 0 picks. I don't know if you already touched on that, but the fact that we were able to hold him to 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions is 2 touchdowns, sorry. Still absolutely incredible performance. Duke, anything you saw?
Yeah, as you touched on with Woody, 192 rushing yards, 27 carries, and he averaged 7.1 yards per carry. I mean, that's just textbook performance from him. I mean, that's what you want to see. And every time he performs like that, it ends up going very well for us. If you look at our one really close game this year against Villarica, is a game where he didn't have those kind of numbers. When he does have those kind of numbers, usually our wins so far have been much more decisive and much more of a statement. As I say statement, I'd like to say that of all the games I have missed, I will not regret missing any other game more than I will regret missing the Noonan game. That was a statement if I've ever seen one. That was basically this team telling the rest of the state that the old Northgate is gone, the old Northgate is dead. This is a new chapter, and we're not going to let teams like Noonan own us mentally. We're just going to go out there and we're going to execute to the best of our ability, and the scoreboard shows the results there. It speaks for itself.
A thing that should be touched on for how the scoreboard got there, Noonan multiple times in the second half drove into the Northgate red zone, sometimes as close as to the 1 yard line. I believe it was 3 or 4 times that they were stopped on 4th down. So an absolutely clinical performance. We even missed a couple of things than what I had listed previously. Keaton Stiegel had a blocked punt that was recovered by Jalen Hardy for a touchdown, which was an absolute great for him. He ran through 2 tacklers that weren't able to block him in time. He also rushed the passer very well in that game, getting into Brody Campbell's face to force the first interception. And yeah, there was a bit of a scare, I'll say this, at the end of the game. Aiden, if you definitely want to, you touched on that a little bit earlier, the scare of, momentum in the end. Do you okay touched on that?
Late in the game, if I recall correctly, about 5 minutes left, Northgate was up 28-14, and they had the ball on their own 25. Coach Whitley, which I initially appraised this decision, decided to go for it. I thought maybe get it, hand it off to Woody, get the first down, burn 2 minutes more clock, burn a couple of Noonan timeouts. They did give the ball to Woody, and Woody was stopped. Impressive display by the Noonan defense. And Noonan then responded at 2 plays, touchdown pass, and they were back in the game 28-21. Obviously, Noonan came back from a 49-24 deficit on EC earlier in the year, and you knew if they can come back from 49-24, they most certainly can come back down 28-21. But like Callum mentioned, that 4th and 10 stop, the Bryson Davies fumble recovery sealed it. Northgate celebrated its first win versus Noonan, and the little bit of the hot rivalry going on, the Northgate students stormed the Noonan field, and following the game, the Noonan student section said that they, quote-unquote, needed to do better for future games. But honestly, it's all just about momentum. Callum, do you want to go into the next topic?
Yeah, the momentum was the big thing. I mean, that's what Coach Whitley, I think, was trying to keep going on that 4th down conversion, specifically because we all know referees in high school football can waver in accuracy from time to time, and there was definitely questionable placement for it to be a 4th down in the first place. It's just a testament to how good this Northgate defense is. Ranked 6th in the state statistically, that they were able to make stop after stop after stop, even after they almost put themselves in the hole at the end of that game. Next topic we will go to is the opponent today. Northgate's back home to host Banneker. They're 1-3 and 0-1 in region play after a tough loss, a shutout, in fact, to Langston Hughes last week. Langston Hughes, for context, will be competing with Northgate as one of the best teams in the region. Banneker's a hard team to evaluate. They're 20 minutes up the road in Fairburn, Georgia. They don't have a lot of stats available for us to use. They only have 1 game of statistics available on Max Preps and other websites. But we can still get an idea of how they play. Senior running backs Laveris Monroe and Donovan Freeman combined for 21 carries, 331 yards, and 2 touchdowns in that first game, which was their only win of the season over Osborne, I believe. Those carries and touchdowns were also nearly evenly split. One of them got a touchdown against South Cobb. We don't know who. We were using the other team's statistics. Same thing using the other team's statistics. Their sophomore quarterback is Jaden Hudson. He went 7 for 13 in that first game with 1 interception. We know from the stats that the other teams have provided to Max Preps that he has not thrown another touchdown pass all year and has in fact thrown 3 more. So this is another run-heavy offense. We've seen this with Stars Mill that have come in here with the wing T offense. We've seen it with Northside Columbus, 2 teams that Northgate have been able to handle. We are going to see that again. But to add to Banneker's worry, they now have a inconsistent and potentially dangerous quarterback when it comes to giving the ball away. Duke, what did you see when you were looking up about Banneker?
Well, for some reason, I'm still logged into the huddle, so I was able to actually go and watch some of their film. But yeah, I saw a lot of that. I feel like part of the reason why they're a little bit more run heavy, I feel like, is probably because they don't trust to attack in the air as much. That's just my personal observation. I can't say for sure. But yes, they're definitely more run heavy. I looked at some of the statistics. From what I found, it says that they run the ball 76% of the time on first down and 67% of the time on second down. It's a running play as well. So yes, they are very run heavy. They are definitely very run heavy. That's one thing that we can come to expect.
So we found out from those stats that, do you mind going back really quick before we transition to defense? 76% of their first down plays are on the run, 67% of their second down plays are on the run. So they are really going to throw this ball if they have to. The average yards per completion, I believe, is around 14 or 15. I believe the statistic was 14.6 for Jaden Hudson. So they will look to gain lots of yardage if the run game is stuffed, and they'll look to do it with some deep shots. But I think we can be confident that the Northgate secondary will be ready for that after Noonan's performance. Let's transition to defense now. Aiden, do you want to hit on some of the players we've highlighted for them?
Yeah, sure. Their defense contains a few heavy hitters. Defensive end and tight end Quentin Hand and offensive linebacker Eli Riley could get to the quarterback, but they lost 42-0 to Langston Hughes and 48-0 to Jonesboro. And the Northgate D-line, O-line, I mean, they were impressive last week, even when they put pressure on Ledger Clements, Noonan did, which was hardly ever. Ledger Clements could usually scramble out of it. I believe he had 1 carry for 3 yards. But with the defensive ends and the linebackers, I don't think there's much to worry there. They are heavy hitters, don't get me wrong, but they overall don't seem really threatening to me, Callum. What would you like to add on to that?
I mean, it's kind of here's the thing with the Northgate offensive line. We know they're very strong. Aiden Hogan and some of the guys in the front of the line are definitely experienced and have been learning from people to get this starting job from last year and this year, and have performed very well in very stressful environments across the county and our region. Noonan's pass rush was not tested, was not really that testing to Northgate. They only had 1 sack coming into the game. I do not know if they actually did get one after the end of our match.
I do not believe so.
So we do know that with Quentin Hand and Eli Riley, they will have sack threats. The question is how big of a threat they will be, and if our tackles and guards will be able to handle that efficiently. We aren't too worried. I've got some info from players on the team that their interior defensive line is a little weaker, just when it comes to power, pressing, especially against the run. But we will see about that. Before Duke transitions into breaking down their defensive structure, Sam has arrived. So
With full body paint.
with full body paint. So welcome to him. How are you, man?
Sam,
Sam, I've got to ask, are you the A in the US of A or the A in America?
I would be the A in America.
Which A?
Of course, I'm the first A.
First in line, just like the Northgate Vikings, everyone.
Okay, all right. Well, then, Duke, you have a whiteboard for us, don't you?
the Duke's breakdown.
Duke's breakdown time,
Brought to you
guys.
by Duke Sutherland.
Brought to you by Duke Sutherland. You want to break down their defensive structure?
Well, so there's like a slight stipulation with that. One, I'm going based off of information from my notebook last year on what we were looking for before we were going up against Banneker. I am aware that they have had a lot of changes on their staff, their coaching staff, and from my talks with some players on the team currently, they don't really have a main structure on defense. What I remember seeing, or what I did see on my notes from last year, was we were looking for specifically 4-3, single high, and a lot of loaded bots. So starting off with 4-3, as you can see here, this is the offense and the defense. This is for layman's terms, people at home that don't understand. 4-3, basically, this is 4 defensive linemen right here. You got your tackles right here. Your defensive end right here on the outside. And you got your 3 linebackers. 4-3. Simple as that. That's a very oversimplified explanation, but that's why it's called that. So I'm not gonna bore you with the details there, but that's why it's called that. Single high would be when there's only one safety playing deep, usually around 10 to 15 yards behind the linebackers. He would be the last line of defense against long passes. Now, with the 4-3, the strength of that is, the key idea is, it's designed to be strong against both the run and the pass. It gives you a solid defensive line to handle most offensive plays. So that's my breakdown. So the more you know, the more you know.
Thanks. I didn't know that coming in, so I appreciate that. Before we transition, we did get some info that they have a new coaching staff. Their defense might transition to more of a 4-2 with a hanging cornerback that covers in to cover most space in the midfield. Not the midfield. I'm talking like I'm in playing soccer. Middle of the field on defensive plays. It actually is LeVaris Monroe, one of their senior running backs, who does play cornerback and will be holding that spot. So it's interesting to see. He's a little undersized, about 5'10". So it's interesting to see how well he'll be able to do. It will be interesting to see how well he's able to do. Now, I would like to...
Dude, before we move on, just quickly, you've analyzed the defense, you've broken it down. We obviously know how they come out their defense. How would Northgate offenses break through that defense and really just do what we did to them?
Well, that's a great question. Now, again, like I said, I'm using information from last year that's kind of outdated when I did that very, very brief, very simplified breakdown. My assumption would be this week that we just got to keep them guessing. Just keep executing and just not letting bad plays become worse plays, as Coach would always say. And just be smart with the ball, don't give it to the other team, protect it, and just keep moving. Don't let the last play affect the next, whether it was good or bad. Just keep moving, and if we can just keep them guessing, as it would be, if I were to say one statement, it would be keep them guessing, keep them on their feet, so that they don't know what to expect.
Great. So next, before we transition, we're actually going to go out of this table for a new segment. So Grayson, if that's a cameraman, you can take the camera off the stand really quickly. We are going to do a fan competition. Hi guys, what's up? Does anyone here want to participate in the competition?
For prizes!
What's the competition? You will see actually. It's a football-based contest. You're in. Come down right here. Meet Aiden.
Okay.
Aiden, you take the basket of stuff.
Sir.
We look like another person if possible.
Here, Caleb, give me the mic.
Sir, what is your name and what year are you here at Northgate? Chris Ross, senior.
Now, Grayson, follow me with the camera. We're going off mic, but we're going to a place with less sound issues. So you can keep your stuff right here. Yes, you can. Let's go. No. The grass. So now we're doing our fan competition. Just like in normal college game day, you'll usually have a field goal kick for a prize. We do not have that prize actually set out yet, but Northgate has assured us that there will be a prize. So our lucky contestant, follow me. So our lucky contestant, keep following. Our lucky contestant will be participating. Here we go. Great time actually for the Viking walk. Our participant will be having about a 30-yard, 20 or 30-yard throw. He gets 3 attempts. If he is able to sink it, he can win that prize. So, great opportunity. Back to you. So your line is the gate. We're doing a 20 or 30-yard throw. You sink it, you get three chances. You sink it, we're getting a prize. So we could also work out a prize if you hit the basket. Further back, please. Further back. So what's happening is we're looking at possibly free tickets, food voucher, other potential prizes involving the Northgate football team. So you got any confidence in yourself?
Yeah, 100%.
You got it?
Gonna
All
do
right.
it.
Chris,
Go.
before we attempt this for prize money, before we attempt this for a prize, Chris, I just want to ask you, have you ever said anything bad about a quarterback, maybe just a bad pass from a quarterback?
I've never said anything bad about anything.
Okay, so do you think you could vouch to the level of some of the greatest quarterbacks of all time?
Yes.
All right, well, Chris, bombs away. Let's see what you got.
So behind this gate?
Yes,
Like
sir.
this gate?
Yeah.
Frame in there.
All right. I got to put a little more move behind it here. Try
You got 2 more chances. like you said some bad stuff about quarterbacks.
Chris, who's your lead?
One more attempt for all the gravy.
Chris, we don't have time for short pass. Deep ball here. And I am sorry, but you have not gotten our prize today. Callum, do we have a second contestant coming in? Okay.
All right, great.
All right, nice to meet you, dude. Hey, introduce yourself. What's your name and grade level?
Aiden Commons, 10th grade.
All right, nice to meet you, Aiden Commons. I'm Aiden Cox. Nice to meet you. To explain this competition, don't do what I just did. That was horrible, guys. Don't do that. Aiden, so basically, you try to hit that bucket from over there. You try to get one of these, and you have 3 attempts. And if you do it, you get it for prize money. But after your 3rd attempt, and you don't get it, nothing. All right. So have you ever said anything bad about a quarterback? Maybe he underthrew the ball, overthrew, bad interception, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think you could throw better than NFL quarterbacks?
Maybe.
All right. Let's see your best shot. I mean, this is a long pass. Come on, some of the best. He can't even hit this. All right, you're the boss. Bombs away.
Oh.
Pretty good, pretty good. Oh, this one was better. All right, this is your last shot. If you win, what are you gonna do with the prize today? What's the prize?
We're looking at either a food voucher, free tickets, potential money to be used at the game.
Okay, what are you gonna do with that?
Probably spend it with my homeboys.
Okay, okay. Would you homeboys like to cheer you on? Come on, guys.
Go! Go, Aiden!
Got him? Oh, and I'm sorry, Aiden. Hey, good attempt.
She'll let me try.
Keep this up there.
Like, can I do it for fun? Like, just to...
You can, but no longer. You can't get the
Yeah, that's fine.
We'll
Yeah,
come
that's
our way
fine.
back to the table.
Yeah.
So
No
thanks
longer
for playing,
part of
though.
our show,
Appreciate
though.
it.
Unless we are going to choose a different person.
No, we're
Okay.
going back.
Yeah, we're going back. No longer part of the show, but thank you
Appreciate it.
guys
Thank y'all.
very much.
Dude, you come back. They can have it. All right. So that was our very first attempt at the game. Semi-well. And sadly, we don't have any winners. So we'll see next time we're back if we can do it. Grayson, come with me. We're going back to the table now. We've covered Banneker. We're going to quickly get into some of the stuff that's happening with the region around us this week and last week, and then we're going to finish it off with game picks and the headgear pick behind our fans. Just keep following us, please. As you can see, Vikings have already started to warm up. We've got almost an hour before the game, but it's showing early, so everything was good.
And just take a look at our team warming up. I mean, doing what every team was, but they're doing it superbly well, you know. Sort of what you see out of some NFL quarterbacks.
Welcome back. Is this on? Was I not like playing this song the whole time? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Alright. We're having some mic issues, it seems, so I'm just going to speak up and go from here. Sam, you ready?
I was going to go, but he got first.
Oh! Hello. Test. This is working issue. Apologies, we're having some mic issues. We good? Try it? Hello. I believe our speaker might have died.
In that case, we're just going to use our outside voices. Aren't we right, Cal?
Exactly.
Dude,
So,
I'd start feeling a Sam Cruiser too, because he seems to be back on his way. See Coach Whitley, how you doing, Coach? Yes, sir. You all right,
Y'all
Coach?
in the house, man. What's
Yes,
good?
sir. This is Coach Kevin Whitley.
What we got? Y'all already on?
Yes, sir.
you want us to ask some questions, sir?
Great. Awesome.
Okay. This is Kevin Whitley. This is the head coach of Northgate High School. I'm sorry that our mic is broken, so we will have to speak
fine.
up.
You're good.
First question we wanted to go ahead and ask is, there's been a big culture shift. 2-10 last year for the first season, but it's been a really good turnaround. So I just want to ask, what have you seen in the locker room that's worth watching?
I think the biggest thing the guys are playing together more, trusting each other more. We're definitely, spending time together. Anytime the first year's tough, we bring in new rules and regulations, and guys don't necessarily buy into it. So far they've been buying into it, so we'll see how it goes tonight.
I asked about the culture.
Okay, Coach, we currently have double the amount of wins that we had total last season. We've exceeded a lot of expectations. what have y'all done as a coaching staff, done or said to the team to make sure we avoid complacency?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, it doesn't change. I mean, you establish a mission, you keep that same mission. If you believe in it, just keep preaching. So, like I said, this is about 2 or 3 guys that believe, and then it comes 4 or 5, it comes 7 or 8, it comes 10 or 12, and it just keeps getting bigger. Hopefully spread throughout the team. So far, the guys have been doing great. No different mission, same one you heard. Same one you heard.
Great news. Mike is back. So, we know that the team spends a lot of time studying film. So, what are some of the things that you would share with us now about what you should expect from Banneker today?
Yeah, I think looking at them on film, they're very athletic, very well coached. So I anticipate them to come out and do a great game. We always do not give what we're supposed to play. And we got to play solid on special teams and take care of the football. And do those things we have been good at.
Any questions?
Come on,
Coach, just what is Northgate Shingle vibe this week going to the Banneker? I mean, obviously, what are your takeaways just from them as a team and obviously how we break Banneker down?
Well, I don't know about breaking. I think we just got to play our game. We try not to really get focused on the opponent too much. We want to definitely find their tendencies and things of that nature, but it's all about us just doing our thing. So, like I said, we're going to go out and try to take care of the football, make the they're supposed to play, and just have a good time.
I appreciate it. Thank you always, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Sir.
Welcome back, Sam. Head coach Kevin Whitley. Sorry about the mic issues that started at the beginning of the conversation and our transitioning. We just had a bit of a power issue there with the mic. So, we have 10 minutes left in our show, which gives us plenty of time to quickly get into region standings before we get into our game picks. Sam, do you want to get into that?
Okay, so in 5A region, we have 4 people tied for number 1. That is Langston Hughes, Lovejoy, McIntosh, and Northgate, all tied 4-0 coming in this week. Behind them, we have Noonan at 3-1. And then after that, wow, big fall off. Dutchtown is 0-4, Morrow is 1-3, and Banneker is 1-3. So as you can say, we have a very big division here in the region. And then as the next region, that is 3A Region 2, Sandy Creek is 4-0, Troop County is well 4-0, LaGrange is 4-1, Trinity is 2-2, Upson Lee is 3-1, Mary Parsons is 3-1, and Spalding is 0-4. Whitewater is also 1-2, Bay County is also 0-4.
The thing you'll see with those region standings a lot is that the tiebreakers are versus the region standings. So if that was listed out in order that seems contrary, that's because, well, in region 2 to 3A, where Trinity plays, where LaGrange plays, teams supposed to go there. They've already played 2 or 3 region games, so they have a very big head start. This is just the second region game for Northgate and the second region game for everyone in the 18 5A region 3. If you're not familiar to the classification system in Georgia, 6A is the top, it is based on school size, and it goes from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're looking at some really good games. Langston Hughes and Lovejoy are definitely going to be the biggest teams for Northgate this year. And it's going to really help that Noonan win is a crucial region win. On the other side of things, Sandy Creek are the team to beat. They played Trinity Christian tonight in one of the games that we will be picking. LaGrange are also good with former Northgate quarterback Dylan Barber. We covered them in a Game Day special episode you can find on our YouTube channel. But Trinity really need a big win tonight, and we'll see if they can get that scale at the middle of the standings. Now, it's our favorite time. We don't have a guest speaker this week, but just like College Game Day, we will be picking our 5 favorite games for this week for the best high school games in our area. So let's kick it off. First, our previous pick success. I went back and I saw what our records are to see if we were actually good at our job. Aiden, you're 6-2, so congrats. Sam, you're also 6-2. I'm also 6-2, and
Guess what Duke is?
Not 6-2. He's not 6-2, but he's 3-1, which is the exact same winning percentage. Because he wasn't here last week, is understandable. So we are all tied, but we have 5 games this week. So sometime next week, one of us will be way better than everyone else, and we can rub it in their face. So first off, starting with the game, the first game, sorry. 4-0 Lovejoy are going to face 2-2 Macintosh. Lovejoy's last win was a 35-14 victory over Dutchtown, and that was after beating UC 35-31 the week before. They seem to have a really balanced offense, rushing and passing. Macintosh smashed Morrow, like absolutely decimated them, and they were led by the option receiving threat, Brandon Ridley. So, Sam, pick us up.
I'm going to stick with my obvious trend of Macintosh losing. I'm going to take Lovejoy on this one. I think they're too strong of an offense to compete with Macintosh.
I'm also going to take Lovejoy just because their defense overall is pretty bad. They put like really big numbers against decently good defensive teams like East Carolina. Macintosh definitely have potential because it's not just Brandon Ridley. They do have a lot of other offensive weapons when it comes to running the ball, but they're just too inconsistent early in the year. I think for them to challenge.
Well, I trusted Macintosh to pull off an upset in our first week of doing the show, and they disappointed me, and they did not get it done. And honestly, I do not see that happen. I do not see them pulling off an upset against Lovejoy. I think it's going to be what you guys are saying. Give me Lovejoy all the way.
Sam, with the short time I've known you, I hold you with deep respect, especially your opinions on Macintosh. But when you look at Lovejoy's record, they really beat up by their opponents. But when you look at their opponents, all four of them are currently sitting at 0-4. I couldn't find a lot of stats on Lovejoy's offense, and obviously, except for maybe the who did they play last week? Dutchtown. Not a lot of offense produced. Macintosh, I like where their offense is heading. Obviously, a big momentum win with Morrow last week. I'll take the upset on the road for Macintosh. I like them beating Morrow and Brandon really making a statement, getting back at their division.
I almost can y'all boo him real quick because he picked Macintosh? Like absolutely disgusting. Okay.
Mac and who?
Mac and trash?
Mac and who?
Mac and trash. There we go. Okay. School rebels. Anyway, next game, we already hinted at it. Trinity Christian 2-2 going to face Sandy Creek, who is 4-0. Trinity comfortably handed Spalding 27-0 last week, but Spalding are 0-4 for perspective. They have a dominant defense led by Jake Anderson and Ben Wesson, but they have lost to LaGrange and other mid-tier opponents in the region earlier this year. Sandy Creek have beat LaGrange handedly, and LaGrange once again beat Trinity, and they have a very, very explosive offense. So let's see, can Trinity challenge them?
No. That's just flat out no. Sandy Creek is a very strong team. Trinity Christian, they have been strong in the past. I don't think they can get it done. Just Sandy Creek is too strong of a team. I think, like you said, the range games sums it up. That's why I'm going to pick them.
Me and Duke like to make the joke a lot about Chris Collinsworth when he compares someone on TV to being like Patrick Mahomes. And David Barber, the LaGrange quarterback, really is a big new threat in the running game and passing game, and that's why he was able to tear up Trinity. Their offense, I believe, was held to under 10 points by Sandy Creek. If they can hold them, LaGrange's firepower offense, to such low points, they can definitely take down Trinity. So give me the ground.
So you mean Sandy Creek?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
So I'm also going to go with Sandy Creek. I don't have a bunch of statistics to rattle off like these two guys, and I wasn't at that game that you were at. But what I can say about Sandy Creek is it's got a special place in my heart because for quite a long time my grandpa was actually the head volleyball coach at Sandy Creek, and I also want to mention that the legendary Detroit Lions wide receiver Alvin Johnson went there and was an absolute stud. One of the best wide receivers we've ever seen, probably, I would say. So give me his alma mater, give me the Patriots, give me Sandy Creek.
Well, you look at Trinity's two losses. So Ola 34-28 in the opener, and then to LaGrange 35-23. Both of their losses have been close, but Sandy Creek, I mean, that's just a standard. Everyone in the area knows that. If you're tuning in from outside the area, you should know that. It's going to be a close game, probably my game of the week pick here. Maybe a shootout, but I'll take Sandy Creek at this point.
Few minutes, 3 games to go. East Coweta are 0-4, to the joy of probably many of the fans behind us. They go on to play Perry, the 2023 4A state champions. EC have lost 3 of those games within the score and lost the other by only 10 points. Perry is ranked top 60 in the state, and their coach has a 70% winning percentage in his career, but they have a very inconsistent offense. So it's really the hardest game I think we're going to pick today.
I do not normally take the upset. You have lost, you would very well know that. However, today that is going to change. I'm going to take EC here. I think they're very angry and they're very upset, and this is going to be the redemption game to get their season up and go. Finally, it only took them 5 weeks, but you know, I think they got it. I think they're going to go in there, they're going to dominate, and they're not going to take it.
I'm going to have to disagree, just because, hey, there's part of me that will always hate East Calida, but they have shown time and time again that they cannot pull it off in close games. Whether that be the 25-point lead to Newton or some of these close games against Northgate and other opponents. They cannot get it done in clutch. Perry have played some close games and they have them. So while they're inconsistent, if they have a good showing in the passing game, they're going to take this. So give me Perry.
This one's tough because, like you said, EC has had all those losses, but they've all been very close. So you could make an argument that they're due for one. And as much as I'd like to say that, I just got to go with my bet, and I got to go with Perry. I feel like it's just a superior team at this point.
I mean, EC's offense, it looks great. Obviously, put up some great numbers, but just talking to some analysts and coaches throughout the week about EC, their defense doesn't look too hard, and obviously it's their season, but it's the reason why their season got in such a trade rank in the first place. I like Perry getting a close win over EC tonight, but Callum, would you like to move on to any more?
Yep, that is second to last pick. Newton is mad. They're coming off a loss to the great Northgate Vikings for the first time in their school's history. Morrow is also mad. They're 1-3 compared to Newton.